Just watch me, mouse. Just watch me catch you. Just watch me, mouse. Just watch me catch you, catch you, catch you. All I wanna do is impress you with my mouse trap. All I wanna do is convince you with my cheese. All I wanna do is be the coolest cat here. But I'll need some more super burrito. But I need some more super burrito. But I need some more super burrito.
Hello, Mouse Hunt, and welcome to Feedback Friday. It is March 26, 2021. My name's Dave. How is everybody in the chat doing today? Looks like we have 68 Mouse Hunters hanging out. Hello, everybody. Hello, Roxanne. Von Bam. Ryan says, yay, the internet works. Indeed. I got a little bit of sun blasting in here, a little bit. It's a bit of a gray and dreary day here today. Hello, Miko, KDM, Scribdev, great to see you. Ryan and Brian back to back. Rhyming and helloing. Zach, hello. It's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Zach. Salim, good morning to you as well. Subra, hurrah to Dave's internet. Yes, so big thanks to Jacob last week. It was going to be my turn to do Feedback Friday last week, and my internet was not cooperating, so I don't quite know what the issue was, but my upload speed was a blazing fast 24 kilobits per second. That is slower than a dial-up modem. But then a little bit in the early evening, actually, kind of maybe around 4 or 5, I noticed an ISP truck in my neighborhood rolled by. Someone got out, opened up the box. They were working on something. Looks like they were replacing something, and now my internet is faster than it's been in a long time. So I'm gonna assume there was a problem. Everything seems all good. Now I have 30 megabit upload instead of 24 kilobit upload. So I think that's a much better video situation. But again, thanks, Jacob. Last week it was a little impromptu. I think with not too much warning, he had to go live. So he did a good job acting quick on his feet there. And Jonathan says, hi, Dave. Excited for the spring egg hunt. That's as good of a transition as any to kind of get into. So this week wanted to do a preview of the spring egg hunt, kind of fill you in, let you know what's coming. I was planning on doing that last week. I did share my notes with Jacob, so I think he shared a lot of what we'll go over here as well. But it's kind of good, a last chance to get initial impressions, suggestions. It was interesting last week reading comments, going through different, whether it's the forum, Facebook groups, Discord, kind of reading different feedback, help mold the spring egg hunt together at the end. Jacob drew the 20th new egg last Friday, illustrated that live with Mouse Hunters, and it turned out amazingly well. I almost wanted like a framed print of that egg. I don't know why I find it so comical, but he did illustrate the runny egg, so that'll be in the tournament hall. So further ado, we'll switch over to, is this the right one? Yes. So here is the slide that I couldn't quite share it last week, and we'll get into the spring egg hunt. So touch on a few things Jacob mentioned last week as well. It will begin on March 30. It's going to last for 4 weeks. That seems to be the standard amount of time the spring egg hunt has been going these days. There's certainly a lot of bonus eggs to track down, so it's a good amount of time to try and tick a few off your list anyway. And this year introduces Lady Laura the Chocolatier, who is pictured, right there, above me there. She is a master of cocoa alchemy, and she's able to yield the pure power of chocolatonium, a brand new resource that's going to be making its appearance and arrival into Gnawnia when Lady Laura arrives there. Now, unfortunately, as you can imagine, the spring egg hunt mice have raided her stash of chocolatonium, and so, surprise, surprise, hunters will be called upon to recover some of that chocolatonium. You can use that to upgrade her shop, which you can see here. I have a preview of the shop way far on the other side of the screen there, and you pay chocolatonium to unlock each shelf. And Lady Laura will thank you with some one-time rewards for each shelf unlock. You can see there, if you can maybe make it out, there's things like extra charms, egg sweeper shovels, a journal theme to find, a new trap, extra charge charms as well. You kind of receive those for unlocking the shop. And then once that shelf, that is unlocked in her shop, then you can use it. You can buy things from Lady Laura. And there's a wide variety of things to help you throughout the game, kind of tying in with a little bit of the bonus hunt theme of the egg hunt, of cracking open those eggs. You get a little bit of something to help you out in that area. So there's a few little things to help you out as well to spend Chocolatonium on. Only bottleneck from now on is Dave's computer fan. So far, so good. The computer is cooperating. Ryan, wait till you see high-speed internet here in Singapore. Uh-oh. Either that means it's really good or really bad. I get that impression. Daniel says, maybe that internet box thingy drank some coffee. Yeah, maybe somebody spilled some coffee on that. I'll never live that down, that incident of pouring coffee over my laptop inadvertently. Hey, Dave, Aaron, hey-o to you. Crazy Avid Gamer says she looks like she has some cake. A little bit of a baker chocolatier. I think it's an accurate depiction of a chocolatier. Actually, a little bit of trivia. Before I worked at HitGrab, I was a candy cook, so I made chocolate and various types of confectionery, and I believe my uniform was somewhat similar. Although I don't think I had the buttoned chef's coat. Didn't have the buttons going. Generic Potato says, is there any way to buy shovels this year outside the premium shop for much egg sweeping as you can? You do get more this year than you did last year. We've overhauled the contents of the 10 spring eggs, those kind of 10 standard eggs. There's shovels in there, as well as you get shovels for unlocking each tier of the shelf, as well as there's some fertilizer, if I'm not mistaken, on the final shelf as well. Is that bunny a skin? Yes. And I think you might be able to speculate as to what trap it is a skin for, because it shares a similar color profile and glow. A certain smoldering glow, if I can say that. What machine egg thingy below the spade? My collage is intriguing. Well, we'll leave that open to speculation, but hint, it's a little bit egg-shaped. Scrib is liking how this is looking. Seems like a great update. Great to hear. I think the whole team, we were a little bit apprehensive at first, a little nervous about, okay, what are we going to do here? It's one of the oldest events in the game, and with that, there's a lot of positive things. There's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of things that are great about it, but there's also a lot of kind of old and dated aspects. So it's a unique challenge because obviously the eggs can't go anywhere. That's a major part of it. So to kind of reimagine it, but without a blank slate. But I think the whole team's really happy with how it turned out, just playing through it. It seems a whole lot fun. You don't have to choose so much between, stockpiles and bonus egg huntings. It's a better sort of symbiotic relationship there. It synergizes better. And I think it just makes the fun part of the event even more fun. Generic Potato, can I suggest adding shovels to the final shelf as well? I think it has both. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to misspeak, but I think there might be shovels for every shelf. Dave, Google image says some chocolatier have a chef button going over the uniform. Yeah, various forms of chef whites. I used to frequently get the question, because even not to get too, it's on the topic of chocolate production and candy. The kitchen was open, so it was in a tourist area. I grew up in Niagara Falls, that's where I was working, and it was kind of an open kitchen, so you could see us while we were working. And a question I would get all the time is, well, why do they make you wear white? You know, it seems dangerous because you're working with chocolate. Won't you look really dirty eventually? But much like a painter, you want to be wearing white. So if you do get chocolate on your uniform, you see where it is. Otherwise, you're going to lean up against a wall or a counter and start spreading a mess all over the place. So at least by wearing white, you know when there's chocolate on you. Or you know if you're a painter, they wear white so they can see, yes, I spilled paint on me. Oops, I better not touch something because I have wet paint on my clothes. Asif says, love the fact that you're able to spice up old events with new features like the vending machine and the birthday event. Great to hear. Roxanne likes having drawn human characters in the world, makes it feel a bit more lived in. Absolutely, and I think that's something we hopefully want to have time to just continue to do more of. Something on the back burner was even give a little bit of life to each of the shops. invent a bit of a shopkeeper character that is taking care of all the various shops. You've seen things like, obviously, Ronza being a popular character, Big Jack making an arrival and setting up her shop. Naya asks, how do we collect Chocolatonium? Great question. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Maybe that's a good little segue into a bit of a screen share here. So Chocolatonium is dropped by the Spring Egg Hunt mice. So that's another change in the Spring Egg Hunt this year, is the Spring Egg Hunt mice have been made exclusively bonus hunts. And so we're going to be open to feedback once players have a chance to play through that, see what they think. But it really just kind of helps with the whole bonus egg hunting aspect of the egg hunt, where you're going around to different areas, you're looking for eggs, whether you're in the floating islands, whether you're in the town of Gnawnia, whether you're in the mausoleum, wherever you happen to be looking for bonus eggs. It feels like this kind of helps you encounter the Spring Egg Hunt mice, see those characters, capture them, collect some Chocolatonium while still not detracting from your ability to go and hunt down the bonus eggs. So indeed, choices are important, but ultimately we kind of came to the conclusion that that's not particularly an interesting choice to have to choose between which part of the event you want to do. There's more interesting ones to be made. There's my laptop fan. It's loving the screen share. It is just cranking up to 1,000. So you can see here that the I think I have the prize mouse cranked way up because I was testing something else. That the various mice are bonus hunts. This Rift Trap is not going too well against the Burglar. Let's switch to a Chrome. Oh, my laptop is taking off. Off we go. So you see they appear as bonus hunts, as well as kind of explaining they were binging on Chocolatonium when they inadvertently tipped into my trap. So much like kind of the Relic Hunter and Prize Mice being bonus hunts. You encounter them as they go. They drop Chocolatonium. Kind of one more way to get it here as well. So if you arm an extra charge charm, so playing off the static electricity theme of that charm, as well as the sort of the neutrons and protons flying around Chocolatonium, arming this charm, you will double your egg drops, and you will also find an additional piece of Chocolatonium for every egg that you find. And so I don't know if I'm in a particularly great spot to be getting eggs regularly, but should I find an egg, and I have this charm armed, for every egg that the mouse dropped, there we go, I got 2 nibbler eggs. So the electricity charged particles of my extra charge charm extracted 2 Chocolatonium from the eggs that I found. Brian says Mobster on stream. Is the encounter rate the same as it will be? I believe so. I don't think I have changed anything other than the prize mice. I know I was actually testing something this morning just with multiple bonus hunts, so I think I have my prize mouse encounter rate up at like 20 or 25%, or it's pretty darn high, and that's not how high it is. Ryan, the bonus hunts are appearing really often. They are quite frequent. Jonathan asks, what is the breakdown of 20 new eggs? Maybe I can go back to here, and my computer will hopefully calm down. But no drop frames, isn't that nice? Only 12% CPU usage, running MouseHunt and streaming at the same time. The breakdown of 20 eggs, we'll leave that to a little bit of a surprise, but we'll say that the majority of them have been hidden in the floating islands, being the newest area. There's a lot of room to hide, tuck away some eggs there in different creative ways. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are 4 eggs that will be in other locations. So I mentioned at the start of the stream, Jacob illustrated the runny egg, because that was just a pun that was too tempting to resist, and that will be tucked away in the tournament hall. That's where a lot of the sporty mice are. But I think I have a couple other eggs on my screen, but let you kind of speculate where those may end up. Generic Potato says, the bonus hunt blue box looks great. Is the mobile notification widget updated for bonus hunts as well? The widget, unfortunately, no. There's just not enough real estate to incorporate it there. But it will appear in your recent trap activity. That appears underneath the camp section. And maybe I'll tempt fate by trying to load that up as well. Do I dare? Let's see. Oops. We'll see if we can show that too. eggs. Just because it's egg sighting. Here goes nothing. Unplanned demo. Will it work? All right, CPU, get ready for screen share. Let's make that a little bigger there. So down here is where you will see your bonus hunts. So let's make this a little bit quicker. See if we can get one. There we go. So just now I caught a steel mouse and an egg painter mouse. So that'll kind of give a little bit more visibility on mobile as well. And I believe that'll work for all bonus hunts, not just the spring egg hunt. So it gives a little bit more visibility. You can kind of notice them without having to kind of habitually check your journal after every single hunt to see if you had a bonus hunt. Zach says, is that rabbit the stone sentinel skin? Perhaps. It is a trap skin. And it does have a smoldering glow to it. Ryan, is the extra charge charm going to change to use when the egg is dropped or still every hunt? Still every hunt, so it has stats. It has kind of stats to help you hunt. And it's also been given the Rift set bonus. So it'll contribute to the Rift Walker, Rift Stalker set bonus as well. So it is definitely a very useful charm while you're hunting down mice. Want to boost your catch rate a little bit as well if you're looking, especially after some Rift eggs. Will the Asif asks, will the ping option work in the mobile app this year? As far as I know, it forces you to go to the web version to see a list of eggs. I think I don't believe so. Wait, no, it's there. I don't know if the ping option in the excavator, but you can view your eggs in the mobile app. Let's switch back over. So it is in this area, and here I can make this a bit bigger. If I make this window more narrow. So this has been given a little bit of love as well. Incorporate the chocolate shop. So as well, you can see Lady Laura's chocolate shop from the egg tab here. Or you can view your excavator. And you can see, hey, there's the event mouse eggs. You can see your whole collection. Hey, somehow I managed to complete the Cape Cod collection with that double nibbler egg drop. And I've completed my floating islands as well. Oh, spoiler alerts. So you can indeed see the excavator there. How long is the egg hunt, Ryan? It is 4 weeks, which I think for a number of years it has gone on for 4 weeks. So I have a pretty good amount of time to track down some bonus eggs. Swift's guessing Zuriel something. That seems like a pretty good guess. Generic Potato asks, what happens when you get a regular bonus hunt and an egg bonus hunt in a single hunt? Just as you'd expect, you're getting a whole lot of mice coming to your trap. That said, it's somewhat infrequent unless you're tracking down the relic hunter or happen to stumble upon a treasure or something like that. Chong asks, sorry, I just joined Feedback Friday. Will there be an event map for the spring egg hunt? No. It in some ways, it lends itself well to just doing regular area maps. So if you're really focused in on a specific area, then pick up the map for that area and you can be making a little bit of area progress, working on a map while you're hunting down eggs. Otherwise, if you have sort of a wide variety of eggs that you're going for, I don't know, if you have like a rainbow scroll in your map, that might be a pretty good time to pop that open. It's going to take you pretty well everywhere. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe a Slayer map if you're looking to go get after some of the tougher eggs in the game and some of the tougher mice at the same time. Lightning map, maybe. That would kind of pair up pretty well while you're tracking down bonus eggs. Ice Killer asks, is Chocolatonium spent when you unlock the shelves? Yes. So you have to pay Chocolatonium to unlock the shelf. You can kind of see there in the screenshot I have on the other side that highlighted in yellowish orange color is the cost to build that shelf using Chocolatonium. But Lady Laura will thank you and she will give you a one-time reward for building that shelf. They're pretty good rewards, so I think you'd want to unlock the shelf. Generic Potato, how does the mobile app work with getting 3 or 4 in a single hunt? I think it'll only show you the most recent one. So on the very rare occasion where you're going to get a spring egg hunt and a treasure, then in that case you would have to check your journal and see exactly what happened. Snowy, any event tournament? No, tournaments are kind of a little bit on the back burner. They definitely need a bit of an overhaul, but it's probably several months of work. So no immediate plans on when we can overhaul tournaments. That said, just your regular run-of-the-mill tournaments work pretty well with the spring egg hunt as well. Just typically now with the bonus hunts, there's not too much to do there in terms of tournaments for the egg hunt mice. So, you know, if you're focused in on a specific area, you could join a tournament for that area. Arthur says, not asking questions, but thanks so much for making this game. Spent a great deal of time on this game growing up. Well, that's great to hear. I'm sure the whole team would as well like to hear that. Brian, Richard, and Cloudbeer were supposed to be added back to the Relic Hunter pirate maps after Lunar New Year, but haven't seen them on any maps. We did postpone that a little bit further as well. Just took a look at how many hunters have fully upgraded their Oculus. I think I have that slotted for, so we're working on a Floating Islands expansion, kind of working title called the Sky Palace. And so we've kind of put that task in that milestone now. So I think I kind of tentatively, not quite sure when they'll be added to those maps, but right now the plan is to add them when we release a Floating Islands expansion. Mark says, ignoring the low possibility, can you get a prize, Relic Hunter, and Spring Account most bonus hunt at the same time? Yes, that should be able to work. I don't quite know what order the mice will show up in to know which one's going to be the most recent, or like what was the last mouse you caught, so it's at the top of your journal. But yeah, that should all be good to go. Actually, here, while I was testing, I did happen to catch a prize mouse, so I had that cranked up. Let me see here. Did I get it all on the same hunt? I think I did. I failed to catch a mutated gray. An egg painter wandered into my trap, and lucky me, a prize mouse also wandered by and fell for my trap. So I had 3 mice on a single catch. As it says, not really related to egg hunt, but what is the drop rate for the rib? Rather low. Rather low. Is the cost to each shelf cumulative? Asks Bruce. I see 200 and 300. Hopefully not too pixelated there. Yes, so you do need to unlock them in order. So you have to build shelf 1 before you can build shelf 2, and shelf 2 before 3, and so on. And each of them has an individual cost, but you kind of, the Chocolatonium cost will be what you see on that shelf. Swift asks, any more on the Sky Palace, please? We're getting there. We just started up development this week, kind of officially moved out of kind of the design phase. We did a little preliminary wireframing of the HUD as well, just to kind of firm up a couple ideas last week. But actually today, I think probably this afternoon, Giorgio looks like he finished up a lot of the back-end code there, as well as one of the new devs, Chris, as well. He was putting together some items and some functionality for it as well. So I think Giorgio and I are going to get together now. I have to do a little bit of data entry, enter some things in there. But I probably... I can't say for sure, but while the spring egg hunt is going up, maybe that could be a little bit of a Feedback Friday topic as well. Do a little sneak peek, get some initial impressions, feedback, help us kind of guide some stuff. Bram asks, is Ultimate Charm among the possible items to buy in the shop? I believe so, unless I'm mistaken. Let me go take a peek in Laura's shop here. Yes, the final shelf has some doozies on it, and one happens to be in Ultimate Charm. Galville says, I want to point out that the new Empowered Anchor Charm is not updated on the HUD. You may want to submit a... If that's live in the game right then, you can get in touch with us, hit the support link at the top of the game, and choose Bug Report in the drop-down box. Kind of a screenshot as well is immensely helpful. Ryan asks, is the wireframing what's at the back of your whiteboard? Was a little spitball in there, yeah. A lot has changed since that brainstorming session. I think that was a few weeks ago. Don't know quite how old that is. Generic Potato, are there other permanent content parts in the timeline besides the Sky Palace? A couple other irons in the fire, is that the expression? But yeah, a little too soon to say, but we're hoping to work on something a little bit larger as well, but not quite sure when that'll land. Limbomber asks, can we get our dirigible to show up next to our trap setup in the profile on the hunting islands? Yes, actually, we were just trying to organize actually just this morning, trying to kind of organize a different way to prioritize the backlog. So it's a big challenge. It's a big game, lots of history. There's lots of things to be working on simultaneously, a lot of balls to juggle in the air at the same time. But I definitely want to somehow help push that through the backlog a little quicker, because I know I'm awfully eager to be able to see my dirigible cosmetic and my current dirigible and my hunter profile as part of the journal, maybe some stuff to flesh out there, but for sure want to see that. Trevor asks, randomly, will the Floating Islands eggs contain 20 luck charms? I don't believe so. I don't know off the top of my head. The Springtime Schooner. That's almost too good of alliteration to pass up on that. KDM says the new Valor Rift installments require so many patterns. That's a good segue into a little bit of feedback as well. So as part of the birthday initial shutdown, Valor Rift treasure maps landed, and they kind of went through a couple iterations. Originally, we had a little bit of a grander idea for them of how to make them a little bit more interesting, kind of combine elements of both a scavenger hunt and a regular map into one. Ultimately, that hit the chopping room floor. So for primarily two reasons. Number one, as we played through it, it wasn't particularly fun. So that's usually a pretty good signal that it's going in the wrong direction. And kind of add insult to injury, just the way that the code had to be structured was a little convoluted, or knowing that going forward, this is very hard to maintain. And there'd be a lot of engineering effort. We'd have to go in to do it in a way that would be easier to maintain in the future. So those two kind of pressing issues, primarily the fact that it wasn't fun, it got chopped. So they became your run-of-the-mill map, something that you definitely kind of expect, with the only creative element or a little bit of twist there being the unstable celestial time chest, being a way to gate the sigils and the secrets behind your tower progress. So kind of someone doesn't show up on day one, and because you happen to have friends doing maps, you are at max level, and all of a sudden it's a little bit like buying Super Mario, but you just, Bowser's been defeated when you buy the game. That's a little bit weird. You've kind of skipped the journey. You've skipped the fun part. But indeed, actually, that is my bad. I think I messed up on some math a little bit. And to be quite honest, I think that dirigible cosmetic, the entire set should cost 1,000, not each individual piece. So open to kind of feedback, suggestions, initial impressions, especially when it comes to that dirigible cosmetic that's above me there. Each individual piece costs 3,000 patterns. That is quite the daunting accomplishment to achieve in the Valor Rift. So something that we've been kicking around on the team is reducing the cost quite a bit, maybe somewhere in the ballpark of 300 to 500 pattern pieces per cosmetic piece. And then if we did do that, I think there's about 25 people who have bought one of the cosmetics. We would refund the skins as well, or skin pattern pieces. Yeah, Brian, the 3 Valor Rift dirigible parts cost 3K patterns after completing the entire Valor Rift 8 pages and extra runs. Most hunters don't have 1.5. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit too daunting, and I don't think that airship cosmetic is quite a great fit to show your complete mastery of the Valor Rift, that you've gone above and beyond there. I don't know. I think see what hunters think. If it's better as something kind of fun, like, oh, I've done quite a bit of Valor Rift, but I haven't committed a year of my life to the Valor Rift sort of thing, or my hunting life there. So I can have fun. I can kind of mix match. I can use the balloon or something. Yeah, the pattern pieces for the new cosmetics is really steep. Yeah, way too many pattern pieces, to be honest, says Swift. So seems like a pretty unanimous sentiment there. And I think, not to make excuses, but just kind of shuffling around, working on a few different things at the same time, I think a little bit of math got messed up, fell by the wayside there, and those are probably meant to be closer to 1,000 for the entire set, not each individual piece. So I'm getting the impression that would be a welcome change, paired with, of course, a refund for anyone who has purchased them already. Scrib says, yeah, I saw that and thought, yeah, not going to get that skin anytime soon. Exactly. It feels, it's definitely, we missed the mark there. So I think that definitely needs some adjustment. It's almost bordering on unobtainable, which, given what the cosmetic does, isn't particularly fun. It's fun to kind of get lots of cosmetics, swap them in and out based on kind of your mood, what you're doing. It's not quite a good fit for that real big above and beyond, unless, of course, it was, say, tradable. But I don't think this skin is a good fit for a tradable airship cosmetic, because then it would be more about the greater supply and demand and the economy of skins in the entire game. rather than how much one hunter can obtain. So I agree, way too expensive, Sally. Look at this. I think we'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't think those cosmetics were priced too high. So I think we'll definitely put it on the to-do list to adjust that price. I don't know whether we'll have time to do that, because we definitely want to make sure we can refund hunters at the same time. I don't know if we'll be able to do that for the start of the spring egg hunt, but that'll definitely go on the to-do list, it's looking like. Bram says you could put pattern pieces in the Valor Rift chest. Yeah, that'd be another route as well, kind of increase the supply of those. Aaron as well says +1 to reducing the pattern cost. Simor asks, will there be enough time to complete the Easter event stuff and go hunting around for eggs? That is kind of, that's the big change we made this year. So Lady Laura's shop and the Mice Bean bonus hunts, it works much better. You can go and you can get bonus eggs for so many hunters. That's the kind of big fun part of the event, is tracking down those bonus eggs, and whether you crack them open to get a little bit of bonus loot in the area that you're working on, or whether you're looking to complete maybe one of the collections, kind of uncover all the eggs for a specific area, or dare I say, long-term goal, try to find every single egg there is. That's definitely a daunting task. But now with the spring egg hunt Mice Bean bonus hunts, you can pursue those two things simultaneously. And so hopefully Lady Laura's chocolate shop and getting rewards that way, it lends itself much better to going and capturing the bonus or hunting down the bonus eggs as well. Brian, yep, can always add patterns in the new chest if you want to maintain the cost. Hindsight, now that it's out in the wild, that's a little bit of a trickier change to make, because definitely there's people who've gotten the chest and opened them up, and so we may not kind of have that extra piece of data to kind of adjust things there. So it'd be kind of a more straightforward change just to drop the cost. A cardinal on my bird feeder, that's just nice. As if, lately I was hunting in the toxic spill to get the missing bases. Did you ever think about adding the option to see how much pollutinum you have? I want to say, so that's been on the backlog for a while. I want to say that task bubbled up to the surface, but off the top of my head, I don't know. But that's, if not, it is definitely in the idea bank to update that HUD before you were able to check the scoreboard. But being able to get pollutinum in different ways, and now there's kind of for adventure progress, there's no concrete way to know for sure. Ashley says, I feel the not sure cost for ultimate charm is also ridiculous. Well, there's other ways to get ultimate charms, though, so you have your options wide open there. Not sure is a little bit of an interesting challenge in and of itself. Chong says, skin pieces cannot be purchased with Super Brie. The tattered pieces, they come as loot drops. If you're talking about the skin, trap skins themselves, which you can also buy with pattern pieces, you can get them on the marketplace, or you can get them directly. Nia asks, can you get bonus eggs more than once? Yes, of course. So your excavator will keep track of which ones you have ever discovered or ever kind of found as a loot drop. So it feels like you can kind of complete a collection, if you will, get a check mark. But if you crack it open, you don't lose that check mark either. So the excavator will keep tabs on which ones you've ever gotten as a drop, even if you've cracked them open and no longer have them in your inventory. But for sure, you can keep on getting them. So if there's a particular area that you're working on, some eggs have better contents than others. You have to kind of explore a little bit and find the best ones that you're interested in. But for sure, if there's an egg and you crack it open, you're like, whoa, I really like what was inside that one. You can go keep on hunting, get as many of those as you can in the 4-week time span of the egg hunt. Just remember, if it is your first egg hunt, to pick up the excavator right at the start. But if you don't have it, this interface above me right there, it will prompt you to purchase the excavator. I believe it costs 10,000 gold. Limbomber asks, I wonder if anyone has bought that ultimate charm with Notchor. It's definitely kind of there if you are working on some extreme stretch goals in the Queso Canyon, that you might be able to get one eventually. But other than that, I agree. There's more compelling things that I would spend my Notchor on first anyway. Swift, that's a good question from Swift. Can the 10 spring eggs be extra'd? I like using that as a verb. Let me see here. So to clarify, see if we can pull up those 10 eggs. So these are not the event mouse eggs. I thought they were called spring eggs. Is this in alphabetical order? Appears to be. Come to think of it, those ones should maybe be at the top, though, eh? Let's switch to this tab. So these eggs here, gotta make that a little bit bigger to fit them all. There we go. So the spring eggs, so they can be found by catching specific spring event mice. They can only be found once per year. So in previous years, you could arm an extra and you would get 2 of these eggs instead of 1. Now that the bonus, now that the spring egg hunt mice are bonus hunts, your charms have no effect on bonus hunts. And so that means that you can no longer double these eggs. That said, to compensate for that, we have overhauled the contents of the eggs. We've doubled all the super brie in the eggs. So, and as well as just kind of put a little bit more rewarding items in there as well. So hopefully that kind of compensates for the fact that you can't double those particular eggs anymore. And my computer's taken off again. And Brian asking their follow-up question, how will the original 10 spring eggs, like the golden egg, be incorporated? Want those to extra those? So there, just kind of went over that as well. So the spring egg hunt event mice, they drop them, so you'll get them during your bonus hunts. You cannot use charms for bonus hunts, or they have no effect on your bonus hunts, but we've doubled the contents inside of those eggs. So it'll be the same as previous years, but you don't have to use extras. So actually you get to save yourself 10 extra charms. Oh, if you've spotted a few spoilers, should put a spoiler alert when we're screen sharing. Spoiler alert. You can go on your own Easter egg hunt to find some eggs in the screen share. Trevor asks, can you get them more than once if they can't be doubled? No, you can only get each of those spring egg hunt eggs once per year. But like I said, we've doubled the contents of the eggs. So it's in terms of rewards, it's essentially the same. Some of them have different contents as well, but the super brie, I believe there's super brie in every single one of those eggs, and every single one of them has had the quantity of super brie doubled, as well as just the rewards inside have been made more lucrative as well. It's not the same for collectors. Well, collectors, you'll have a choice. You'll have to wait next year if you want to keep an egg in your inventory and never open it. Michael says, maybe install a second fan in the opposite direction so your computer doesn't fly away. At least attach a couple sandbags in case it decides to take off, eh? I'll have to need an airship cosmetic on my laptop at this rate. Myra asks, is it possible to get a sorting for charms in mobile? It's kind of been on the to-do list, but no time frame. It definitely is a bit of an overhaul. Life from 5 feet. Will the older versions of these spring egg hunts, spring eggs be renamed? Yes. So last year's 10 spring egg hunt eggs will be called, similar to the other ones when they were tucked away, I believe, what's the word? Antique. So there'll be the antique stripy egg. I believe there's a stripy egg. And this year, the new one will just be we'll replace it as the normal stripy egg. Ice Killer says, what happens to the golden egg after 24 carats since it's now 21? Well, in the world of Gnawnia, we'll go above 24 carats. There'll be some magic in the air, that's for sure. Put our pinky fingers to the moon. Ben asks, so you can only get the golden egg once, correct, but the contents of the golden egg have been made much better to compensate for the fact that you can only get it once. Caleb says, love the game. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much, Caleb. Chong, are the rare map dust doubled in map clue eggs? That's a good question as well. I'll jot that one down. I believe you find, unless it's the Relic Hunter, but that might be good to double check. If the Relic Hunter drops any eggs, you won't be able to double those. So we have to take a look at that. Dark Star says, what if someone didn't open old eggs? Will they have doubled eggs with the better contents now? No, they're new eggs. So if you have the stripy egg from last year and you get the stripy egg from this year, then you'll have 2 eggs in your inventory. One will be the antique stripy egg and one will be the stripy egg. Gustav says, it seems like I need a week to reconsider everything in Spring Egg Hunt this year. Well, a lot of it is what you kind of know and remember and love. With the bonus eggs, not much has changed there. It's just the stockpiles are gone. And they've been replaced with Lady Laura's shop, and the Spring Egg Hunt might show up as bonus hunts. So Really, there's not even really much to kind of wrap your head around there, other than just go forth, seek out bonus eggs like you normally would after you get the stockpile portion kind of out of the way, as you did last year. You won't have to do that this year, so you can jump straight into the fun part, getting bonus eggs, and the egg hunt mice will show up as you go. Bram asks, any plans to add extra tiers to the Absolute Acolyte? Not at this time, no. Aaron says, I personally recommend an air horn to cool your laptop down. Maybe some earplugs as well at the same time, Aaron. As if, is it possible to open an extra category? Look at this. I'm reading the word extra as extra now. It's just too eggy. An extra category for the eggs in the inventory. It's a bit hard to find normal kits. I thought that was already the case. Am I way off base? So when you go to special, yeah, spring egg hunt. So when you go to your inventory under special and spring egg hunt, all the eggs will be in their own category. Sean, do we need to collect all 10 eggs before starting the Easter hunt like previous years? Absolutely not. So you can jump straight in. Actually, I don't think it had been that way for many years. So that was way back when the chocolate factory, or one year the omelette factory, was part of it. You had to calibrate your excavator. And so that's kind of a good example of feedback that we've been just kind of collating over the years. Long ago, you had to go to the chocolate factory and you had to find these 10 eggs to calibrate your excavator. That unlocked the ability to go forth and find bonus eggs throughout the entire game. And as the years went by, we had increasingly vocal negative feedback of, I hate this part. I don't want to have to go to the chocolate factory and recalibrate my excavator just so I can go do the part I want to do. There was friction, right? There were players who wanted to go and find bonus eggs, and they were being forced to do something that they didn't find fun and they didn't want to do. And so every year that feedback got stronger, more negative, and more vocal until that got chopped. And so kind of that's as well kind of one more source of feedback throughout the course of the decade that has pushed us in the direction of trying this format out for the spring egg hunt, where the mice are bonus hunts and Lady Laura shows up and it's something you can do and while you go and try to find the bonus egg. So hopefully it's a much better match. It doesn't make you kind of introduce that friction of having to choose between, a chore, basically. It's like, well, I have to do this chore so I can get to the fun part. Brian asks, will event mice be able to drop bonus unique eggs like the over 9,000 egg lucky egg, etc.? You know what? I suspect no, but I don't know for sure. Any new event mice, asks Lynn Bomber. No new spring egg hunt mice, especially kind of with the shift to bonus hunts as those mice become a little less sort of at the forefront. I didn't feel the need to add any new mice this year. Jonathan asks, can we get a switch in the excavator to toggle between looted this year versus looted all time? We did discuss it. Ultimately, we decided that it wasn't a great idea. So we're kind of, again, nervous that would introduce an expectation that you can find all the eggs in 1 year, which, a small handful of hunters maybe are up for that challenge. But to me, that's a challenge you set for yourself. I don't think it's one the game should present to you because it is completely out of reach to 99.9% of players. And so by kind of making that more visible, that's going to encourage more players to take on something that really isn't a great idea to take on, which can just kind of lead to feelings of disappointment, frustration, and friction. So ultimately, hey, if you're up for that, that's something that you can kind of almost like a side bet, do that on your own, keep tabs on that. But there's no plans to add anything like that officially. Ben says that looks like the cost to upgrade all the shop shelves is pretty high. How much chocolatonium are you expecting active hunters to reach within 4 weeks? Well, you have a long time. The bonus or the spring egg hunt might show up quite a bit, so you can get a decent amount of chocolatonium. And by no stretch of the imagination, if you're active during the event, you will be able to unlock the shop and be able to continue to collect chocolatonium for a pretty good amount of time and buy the rewards from Lady Laura. Nia says, what about Super Brief from high charge eggs? Where is that compensated? We were keeping an eye on the charge cycle throughout the years, and just every year fewer and fewer hunters were participating in the charge cycle. So ultimately, that got scrapped. It got replaced with Lady Laura's shop. And in some ways, kind of the identity of the birthday event has become a lot more about Super Brie. So kind of as we organize events and get them all to have a good, strong identity and unique reward structure, you can almost think the Super Brie from the charge cycle over the years has been moved into the Super Brie event, as that's a pretty generous way to get Super Brie for free by participating in the event. And the reward structure of the Egg Hunt has been replaced with Lady Laura's shop, which has other sort of items to help you out in areas, including premium items like Bottled Wind, Lantern Oil is in there, Tower Mana. In some ways, if you really want Super Brie, you could probably buy that from Lady Laura's shop, sell it on the marketplace for some gold, and then use that gold to buy Super Brie from the marketplace. So in some ways, you may come out ahead. Bloodshot, can we have another section under the profile for dirigible skins? That kind of ties in as well with displaying that on the profile. We're definitely trying to get that ramped up in terms of priority to get that as soon as possible into the game. But no specific timeline. Chong says, so for the Lunar New Year event, should the community complain about the duration taken for hunting the Zodiac before they can start burning candles? We're open, open to that feedback in a little bit, for sure. That's kind of the whole point. I think I think it stems from the sense of scale. So there's so many bonus eggs to collect. There's so many for yourself that in comparison, going to the chocolate factory, I think that's what made it feel like quite a drag, if I had to kind of form a hypothesis there. Whereas it's not quite the same in Lunar New Year. It's kind of a short but intense burst out the starting gate. So it's not quite the same as a 4-week event with hundreds of eggs to find. Cool, says any cleaning up of community map listing? That's still kind of in the beta phase. We even kind of went back and forth whether the community map listing was a good idea or not. And so we kind of just wanted to put it out there in a sort of rudimentary state, see how much use it gets, how much interest it sparks, how often we kind of get suggestions to improve it. It seems like it's being used a little bit, but also kind of, cause and effect. The fact that it's not too easy to use may also be a cause of why it's not being used too much. So there's also technical challenges with that of why we were a little bit hesitant. Just, how many weeks or months of work do we put into building out this matchmaking system? How far do we take it? So we just kind of wanted to get a rudimentary version of it out there to see what we learned and see what the feedback's like. Yonel says, good thing that's removed. That recharging is why I hate Spring Egg Hunt the most. Definitely waned in popularity throughout the years. Michelle says, over 9,000 egg is dropped by regular mice. Yeah, absolutely. I think Brian's question was if you can also find it on bonus hunts. I suspect no, but I can't say with certainty. Generic says, free fertilizer when there is a free fertilizer. Actually, hold on. Before I say that, let me just literally look at it to make sure I just don't lie through my teeth. For upgrading Lady Laura's shop, yes, fertilizer is one of the rewards. So there is some free fertilizer to be had. Other than that, unless I'm mistaken as well, you can pick it up off the marketplace. Yes, you can. So fertilizer is on the marketplace, so you can get one for free from Lady Laura's shop, or if you're sitting on some gold, you can spend some gold to get some fertilizer as well. Ryan says, I'm guessing pretty much all trap setups in the floating islands will make us eligible for the over 9,000 egg. There's quite a few powerful ones there, for sure. Swift says, how do we get extra charms now? That's a great question as well. I'll switch back over to my screen here. So it is one of the items in Lady Laura's shop. So kind of depending on your objectives, if you want to spend some of your chocolatonium to get back extra charms or extra charged charms, that's kind of the primary way you're going to do it. That said, maybe have some old stuff from previous events still chilling out. You can go to any charm shop in the entire game, and the charm shop there is stocking this year's kind of relevant charms. So the extra charm there is for sale for 8 Marshmallow Monterey. Now, there's no way to get Marshmallow Monterey this year. It's been retired as an event cheese, but if you have some left over from last year, you'll be able to cash it out for extra charms. Extra charged charms, if you happen to have excavator charged charms laying around, you can cash those out into the extra charged charms. And dark chocolate charms. So if I would probably go for the extra charged charms, but dark chocolate charms have been given a little bit of a buff as well as a set effect when you combine them with the chocolate bar base, which is new this year, and those cost just 1 excavator charge charm each. Yeah, Ben asking, do dark chocolate charms have any effect? They're just kind of a good charm to aid your hunting. That said, they do have a 20% power bonus if you arm them with the chocolate bar base, which you can earn this year. And that also has a few little effects to kind of help you give a chance to triple an egg drop instead of double if you have one of the extra charge charms armed. Trevor asks, why are extra more than extra charge? So remember, extras only consume when you loot an egg. Extra charge charms consume every single hunt. So if the extra charge charms cost more than the extra, you would blow through supplies way too fast and it would be really imbalanced. So that's why the extra charms cost more, because you go through them a lot slower. The fact that they don't use themselves up every single time you go on a hunt, that is very valuable. So definitely you want to keep in mind when you choose to use extra charge charms, you're going to use them every hunt, even if you don't find an egg. So keep that in mind when you're kind of balancing out or managing your resources there. Trevor asks, what's the difference between extra and extra charge if there's no cycle? So extra, we went over this a little bit earlier, but for sure it's definitely an important part or important change of the event. Extra charge charms, screen share again. See here, they have been given the Rift set bonus. So they will benefit from the Rift Walker or Rift Stalker, whichever you have unlocked. They also have the ability to duplicate any egg drop, just like they did. And their newfound power is to extract a piece of chocolatonium for every egg you find. So if a mouse, let's say a mouse dropped 2 eggs and you had an extra charge charm armed, both those eggs would double. Now you get 4 eggs. That means you're going to find 4 extra chocolatonium as a bonus if you're using a charged charm. So the static charge of that egg is going to attract the opposite charged chocolatonium to your trap. And if you have the chocolate bar base arm, that even has a chance to turn a double into a triple. So you can, instead of 2 eggs, you'd get 3. Dark chocolate charms do not help with chocolatonium. That is correct. So again, a bit of kind of a legacy item left over from previous years. So they have a small but less impactful effect. Dark chocolate charms cannot be sold for gold anymore. No. Charged charms have stats too. Extras don't. That's correct. And that's why the extras also, they don't consume every hunt, so that they don't have stats. Otherwise you'd get stats, benefits from stats without having to use a charm in the process. When will the current Relic Hunter season end? Nothing set in stone, Monica, but kind of best guess would be November. But again, that could change. That's neither here nor there. No guarantees on when the season will change over. But the Egg Hunt, that might be a good time as well, just to do regular Relic Hunter maps. It'll take you throughout the kingdom. So if you're just kind of, you and some friends are just kind of getting eggs pretty well throughout the entire game, maybe it's, pick up a Relic Hunter map. You can do kind of two things at the same time that way. Final Heart asks, can the chocolate bar base only triple when you're using extra or extra charge? Yes. So it has kind of a synergizing effect. Well, we'll get to what Giorgio always refers to as the QAR, the question, answer, reward. And ooh, I'm really hoping I didn't check. Did I hide the answer already? No, I didn't. Uh-oh. All right, well. What is the question? I didn't even write it down in my notes here. I'm pretty sure the question was, and the answer flashed for a second there because I didn't have it hidden on that slide. So we'll just ask it here. How many eggs are hidden on an egg sweeper board? Something tells me this isn't too difficult of a question. Joseph saying, I have 17,000 dark chocolate charms. What am I going to do with them? It's a challenge with legacy items. Sometimes they were just obtainable in very odd ways. 10 hidden eggs. I think, nope, Diamond had the answer correct first. Diamond Knight with 10. Yes, that is correct. There are 10 eggs hidden on an egg sweeper board. Let's see if I can get that link in the chat as well. See, normally I hide it. Normally I do this, but forgot. And I'm apparently not logged in as MouseHunt. I'm logged in as Dave Vanderberg. Oh well. Link is in the chat for your clicking convenience. But yes, 10 eggs are hidden. And the egg sweeper will make a return. It's easier to get to this year as well. So you can click the shovel right on the new camp section HUD here. We'll play ourselves a normal game. So when you find a number, there is one egg by there, and you can either tap this or you can hit F on your keyboard, at least on browser. And if you want, you can set flags to remind yourself, hey, there can only be one egg there. Don't look there again. 3, 0. So it should be 3 eggs. Can we find one more? Boom, there's no more eggs there. Oh, there could be an egg there. Ah, it was unlikely. That was a bad play. 1 egg. There we go. The 0 is satisfying for some reason. Anytime you clear a whole bunch of things. There's an egg there. There's an egg there. Ooh, swing and a miss. Look at this. So I just received 10 egg sweeper eggs. Excellent work. So you find the eggs, and as soon as you uncover it on the board, that's when it goes into your inventory. So you even notice down in the bottom corner here, you can see them adding up as you get them. So if I happen to find an egg, boom, you can see 1, and that's how many you have in your inventory. Threshin asks, can we get legacy charms through unstable charms? Just asking. Off the top of my head, I don't know. That's quite the drop table. Generally speaking, I don't think we put event charms in there, with the exception of maybe the odd Ronza charm or 2. How about the large egg sweeper board? Yeah, sure. Here, we'll do a large one as well. Then we should wrap things up soon here too, I guess. So I think I did start a board using magic fertilizer. So now I'm going to find magic eggs, large eggs, large eggs. The magic one is what you get for finishing the whole board. So now I'm going to find large eggs instead of normal eggs. There's definitely an egg there. There's got to be an egg there, right? Oh, yeah. What? Oh, I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. Whoa, I didn't hit F. I hit G. F in the chat. 2 eggs. There we go. 3 eggs. 1, 2. There's 1 touching here. Oh, there's got to be an egg there. That's satisfying. 0, 0, 1. 1. There can't be an egg there. There's got to be one of them here. Hey, all right. Can't be one of them there. There's got to be an egg here or right there. Boom. So you finished now. You had 10 large eggs. And for completing the board, you also get a magical egg sweeper egg, which I'm awfully tempted to go and crack open. Oh, spoiler alert. Maybe I won't go crack those open, because I think I have 1 of each of the, or 10 of each of all the new eggs in there. Spoiler alert. But the rewards there have remained largely unchanged, but they have been updated to include the floating island. So the tier 4 egg has been given floating island items, and that egg actually, if you wait to crack open your eggs until after the spring egg hunt, if you have any tier 4 eggs in your inventory, they will have some of the floating island stuff in them. So it's not a new version of the egg. That said, it's pretty kind of small effect, so kind of didn't quite feel the need to version those ones. Ben, Dave is showing us how not to play egg sweeper. Yep. I had my finger over G instead of F. I thought I was putting down flags, and no, just wasting. The efficiency on that board, not like this. Yep, that was not a very masterfully cleared egg sweeper board. Will Jules be in the large egg sweeper eggs? You know, off the top of my head, I can't quite remember the drop table. Dave is a professional minesweeper. Uh-oh. All right, well, we should wrap things up here as we approach the hour mark. Sean says, have a nice weekend. Thank you very much. Likewise, same to you. So thanks for joining me, hunters. You can look forward to the spring egg hunt starting on March 30. That is this coming Tuesday. Before we go, final reminder that the birthday event is going to have its final shutdown on Tuesday as well. So if you haven't spent your super tokens plus golden tickets, or if you haven't exchanged your extra factory part pieces or smashed them with your hammer into party charms, make sure to do so before Tuesday. Because afterwards, those items will all be removed in preparation of the next tour, the next time you tour the Super Brief Factory. So make sure to exchange those. But have a fantastic weekend, evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you happen to be watching this, in case it is no longer a Friday for you. And I'll probably be Jacob next week, but one of the two of us will see you. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.
You're a trap. Don't see.
What do you think? Different outro song this week? What do you think? Different outro song? So you pick a different one from the MouseHunt album. I think I saw somebody say that the other week. We're going to very informally take requests here. If I can find that. Documents. MH album. No. Media. We moved him around. Oh yeah, the dwarf video. Forgot about that guy. So we have Impress You. The King. Hero. I Will Wait. Ronza or Snap. And I think the normal outro one is Snap? What one was that? Trap, you're a trap. Yeah, it's Snap. Ronza. All right, we will leave you with the outro music of Ronza, although come to think of it, I will have to quickly swap that out. So you'll get a brief intro of Snap, and then I'll switch it out to Ronza. All right, once again, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.
You're a trap. Don't seem to mind.